¿A dónde está papi? 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 ¿A dónde está papi?
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Saturday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Saturday morning. Hey Astro, how's it going? Let me get myself situated over here. For some reason, the autofocus on this thing always seems to, sorry, the manual focus always seems to just never... seems to never stick. Never fails with Saturday Caturday, yeah? If I just... There we go. Okay. I'll try not to touch it and maybe it'll just leave it as is. Yeah, different background today. Yep. Well, it is my room. My old childhood room. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't, well, I guess that's okay. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like that and hopefully it doesn't move around. I'm back with the mango trees, yeah, the parents. Okay. We fixed it, kind of. Do you have a cat today? Yes, there is a cat, somewhere in this house. That I can guarantee. There is a cat somewhere in this house. Yes. Today we're just gonna probably hang out with chat because I don't know, I think the The co-host is probably working at her new job, which is pretty awesome. Um, so I don't know if she can like join us, but she might. For some reason, this has always given me trouble. Um, oh wait, I just had it. Okay, there we go. I think that's perfect. Okay, okay. Yeah, if we do Saturday Caturdays, there is a guarantee kitty cat at some point on stream. Okay, that's never changing. That's never changing at all. The only thing that's bothering me right now is the fact that maybe I could just do this and see if I can get my actual self. Do you get a day off on Monday? No. No. Not that I'm aware of. I do not have Mondays off, so. Well, not this Monday, anyways. I do not have this particular Monday off. I think it's supposed to be not good. What is it called? Easter? Yeah, Easter, right? No, we don't have Easter's off. The stream looks and sounds fine. Okay. Hey Kevin, how's it going? Perfect, never mind. Yeah, I'm trying to mess with this thing, but I think that the webcam software is like really not the OBS like how do I say, the OBS settings aren't really letting me give the precise control that I want. They aren't giving me the precise control that I want. It's also like I think it's also partially the camera itself, because it thinks that it's going to try to focus the microphone, not me. I just had it. It's like it doesn't give me anything in between, right? Or we're gonna solve this problem right here. I mean, that's kind of it. That's kind of getting closer to what I wanted. To what I wanted to do. But it's not quite it. It's not quite it. I don't know if you can see, but there's a slight like softness to the focus, and then the background itself looks a little bit more clear instead of the opposite. Something is messed up on it and happening on Twitch. No, it's not Twitch. It's OBS. I think the camera's trying to focus on the microphone. Exactly. And I don't want it to. I'm trying to manually move it. But the thing is, it doesn't switch, right? Like, it's at 32, and look, it hasn't switched. I look all blurry. Morning. Hey, KTS. No, I mean, you know what happened to Destiny and Dylan burns a certain group of people? What? That group is growing? What are you talking about? Or I could just say there we go. There we go. See, that's what I want. You see how like there's like a rough background now, kind of? That's what I want. There we go. We did it, chat. I hope it stays that way. If not, whatever. Earth Day is coming up. I'm gonna spell out Save the Earth by doing donuts and a Hummer. Yeah, that makes sense. That's usually how I celebrate Earth Day as well. And I make sure that I rent out a diesel Hummer. Specifically for Earth Day, I make sure that I rent out a diesel Hummer, and then I start doing like massive donuts, and then on top of that, I make sure to go on a like good 2,000-mile trip while I'm at it too. There's a group of LGBTQ on Twitch that became literally bad for their own movement. I saw like 20 people calling the left pedos. What? I mean, there can be cringe takes on, you know, no matter what your political ideology is, you can have some cringe takes, even if you are from a marginalized community. That doesn't save you from having cringe takes. And if you're out there calling like the left pedos and whatnot, that's gonna be a giga yikes for me. It's complicated. I bet it is. So I'm gonna do what I've always done and stay away from drama. Okay? I'm gonna do what I've always done and stay away from drama. Easy peasy. Not gonna get myself anywhere near that stuff. Nope. You can miss me. Dustin coming in hot with a tier 1 sub. 8 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so my solution is very, very simple. You can miss me with that BS. I'm not getting anywhere near that. I'm not getting myself in drama. I'm not gonna, you know, even attempt to figure out what's going on there. Nope. No, sir. No, thank you. No, thank you. I would prefer if I kind of stay in my little lane that I have here. Okay? I would prefer if I stay in my little lane, not get involved in any type of like content creator drama or whatnot. I am A-okay right here hanging out with you guys. I accidentally said Mike Pillow 3 times and now he won't leave my medicine cabinet. Usually if you light up some incense, okay, make sure it's sage. Usually if you light up some sage, he'll go away. That's what I did. He keeps saying I have to buy a crack pillow. Like I said, I mean, usually when I get approached by Mike Pillow, I usually just light sage around the apartment, and that usually solves the problem. Especially if he's trying to shill me those like weird pillows with weird discount codes. Yeah. I've also heard that if you go on his website and if you go on his website and use code go away 2020. Sorry, hold on. No, I'm getting my bit wrong. If you use discount code go away 2024, he disappears too. You must have a different driver to the drama queens that go for big subscribers numbers. I mean, like, I figured that my content or the stuff that I'm trying to do has nothing to do with the prioritizing of subscriber numbers or the prioritizing of like necessarily like viewers or followers. I think that what I talk about speaks for itself. And I think that the content that I do speaks for itself and is separate from what other people do, right? I think, sure, I'm just another like kind of like lefty, progressive type on Twitch, sure, but I have my own kind of vibe and my own kind of style and my own kind of personality that has nothing to do with being a drama frog or whatever. I'm just not up for it. If that's what gets subscriber counts, I mean, so be it. Hey, listen, if that's your career, I mean, we usually have a pre-Earth Day parade where truckers unite around North America and drive in circles in the name of freedom. Nice. Nothing says respect for the planet by driving in circles in large trucks for absolutely no reason. Yeah, I go for the message, not the money like others. Right, I mean, like, the whole point is to bring as many people and drive them to what I think, in my opinion, are important stuff, right? Like, I mean, that's literally the goal of the channel. It's listed. It's not a secret. It's literally listed on the on the bio. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. It's literally listed on the bio. It's no big secret what I'm doing here. Don't get me wrong, I do care about getting viewers, because if I have viewers and I have an audience, then I can speak to them about the things that I care about. But it's not like the priority of the channel to become some like, money-making machine, okay? Every little thing that you guys do, like Dustin subscribing, Mayhem Hippie, throwing in some biddies, all of that really just makes the channel better. All this, like, because I don't know, maybe it's just my OCD, but I pride myself in trying to give like well-presenting content, and that's where all that goes to, right? Like, every single item that you see here is you guys. But the whole point is for me to drive people to the issues that I think are important. We don't just drive, we honk too, so people can be aware of how they're hurting the earth. Yeah. You got to make sure that you incessantly honk until we solve climate change, okay? So that's how you do it. You get miles and miles and miles of trucks, all filled with gasoline or diesel, I guess. You make sure that you get miles and miles of trucks that are filled with fossil fuels, and then you make sure that you incessantly honk for the entirety of the Earth weekend and Earth Day, nonstop, to bring awareness of the problems with fossil fuels. You're more of a journalist than an entertainer? Yeah, well, I wouldn't consider myself a journalist simply because I don't do journalism, right? I'm more like a more grounded talking head, right? That's what I am. I'm another bobblehead on the internet but I try to be better. I thought you were a CIA operative keeping tabs on us radical lefties. Well, those are rumors that have been unconfirmed. Those are rumors that have been unconfirmed. So that's up to the audience to interpret that one. We only fuel up at BP. We like to support small business. True. Don't forget to use leaded diesel. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Just add the cherry on top. That's a big F, yeah. A big fail. Yeah. The reality is yeah, I'm not really a journalist or anything like that. I'm just another bobblehead on the internet, but who tries to do better and whose goal is to kind of bring people to to areas that I think that would make this a better place, honestly. Malcolm Gladwell wrote a good book that describes different influences in life. You're considered a maven, whereas Hassan would be considered a persuader. Do you have an agenda for today? Usually it involves taking over the world. Trump actually wanted to bring back leaded fuels. Yeah, what an absolute moron. What is the difference what is a, quote, maven? My agenda is the same agenda that I do every Saturday. It's usually just to hang out with you guys. I'm just the face for today because I think that our co-host for today is working. So I'm just gonna be the face for today. Also, there is news that I'm going to announce as well. If you guys haven't noticed, there have been several streams. There have been several streams where I've been here. At my old childhood room, I guess. And well, it's only a matter of time, so I guess I should come out with it. So I guess today should be the announcement. Next Saturday, there will not be a Saturday Caturday. Next Saturday, the previous Saturday and next Saturday, there was no Saturday Caturday because I'm getting myself prepared to get out of here. That's right. I've been dropping hints. I mean, I'm not too good at keeping secrets, okay? I'm not too good at hyping things up because I'm not that type of person. But yes, Astro just got it. Yes, I'm getting out of here. I am getting out of here. So we've been what's the word that I should use? I don't know. We've been back and forth between here, between my old childhood room and the apartment. We've just kind of been back and forth. Because yeah, I'm getting out of here. A maven is considered an information specialist. Yeah, I guess that would be a better description. Because, I break down stuff. I break down stuff. And more importantly, because I'm not... Okay, so let me word it this way. As odd as it sounds, because I'm not, an academic necessarily, but I can kind of understand, that means that I can then put that information for you guys, right? For anyone who's listening. The whole point is to be like a podcast show that you kind of just pop your headphones in, right? Which is why a few folks have called it ASMR news. He broke it down into three... Yes, migrating. He broke it down into three major groups. Connectors, Mavens and persuaders. All three are important to push a cause or selling a product. Persuaders get their information from mavens and they're able to share it to a larger audience. What you do is important. Yeah, I kind of just grabbed that, but again, like, because I don't have that mindset of like a real academic, I'm able to also transform that information for folks that are listening, right? I mean, and I also share everything that I do on screen because, well, I mean, it's not whenever I decide to talk about something, it's not because I'm attempting to, BS my way out of something. Usually I'll post a link to whatever article, or if I, take an L, or I'll try to be as like forthcoming as possible. And if I take an L, then I have to go back in the next day and say where that L happened. I think I have a good hit rate on that one. And don't get me wrong. I can act the role of a persuader too. But generally speaking, my point is to put out things that I think that are important and people should look at. I'm becoming less progressive lately. Why is that? For example, you share something important on stream, I'll connect and share with a big streamer, and sometimes I'll see them sharing it with their audience. Every role is important. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Been seeing too much people attacking Destiny for basically nothing bad. Well, the thing is, like, to that I would answer, wait a minute, so this is all regarding drama. Why does all that matter? Like, what is the point of even entertaining that? I really don't care what, I really don't care, like, what the next, what the next discourse is about. X person, good or bad, or X person said this or whatnot. None of that matters in the grand scheme of things, right? The reality is, like, what you do, who you speak with, how you talk to people, what you do in your community, how you affect the world around you is infinitely more important than whatever Destiny said or didn't say, or whoever, or whoever is attacking X person. Like, none of that matters. Like, none of that really matters. I don't feel like I need to, identify myself as X or Y, because of X person, right? Like, I'm not going to be less progressive or more whatever, because I saw some drama. That's like, oh yeah, hey guys, look, I gotta throw away all the positions that I believe in because, like, someone was like bad on the internet. There's some real issues in the world that can change you and everyone else's life. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It just seems like out of all the things to ground your political baselines, like, drama seems, any streamer or any content creator is just a person, right? They're just a person. So yeah, it's complicated. I'm sure it is, but it doesn't matter to me anyways. It's not going to change what I believe in. It's not going to make me any less or more what I am or what I'm not. There's a group and not a person. Yeah, well then just don't associate or don't listen to those folks. I don't know. If you're seeing like, I don't know, some toxic movement online, which gee, no way. There's like online toxicity and it always seems to revolve around like certain amount of like certain people. Wow. It's like high school. What you're describing is like high school all over again. And it's like just I don't need to associate myself or necessarily be for or against whatever, you know, unless it becomes like super detrimental, you know, then we can talk about that. Then we can be like, all right, whoa. Everybody needs to pump the brakes here. But it's just online stuff. And somebody needs to stop this guy. True. It's just like high school drama. That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe. I don't know how deep it goes. To me, if it's like this like small click of like online whatever, then, you know, hey, I'm gonna stay right here. Okay? I'm gonna stay right here. Like, you can respect people for what they do, but at the end of the day, they're all just human beings, right? Like, they're at the end of the day, they're all just human beings, and well, there's gonna be some cringe and bruh moments, I suspect. I'm far more concerned with actual politics. That's the real drama. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm concerned with the fact that we have a system right now that is, for lack of a better word, not working. Not working. Human beings, that's right. I mean, like, we had people talk about the Will Smith thing for like almost 2 weeks straight. We had people literally talk about the Will Smith thing for almost 2 weeks straight. Like, we gotta focus here, people. We gotta focus. We have a radical right-wingers openly trying to get into positions where they say they will fix elections. Yeah. Yeah. And they're openly saying that this is the plan. Right? This isn't like a secret, nor is it some type of magical conspiratorial thing that I'm, you know, pulling out of my head. I'm pretty sure that we've gone over videos. I'm pretty sure you've been here, Mestophiles. Mestophiles. You've been here, where we've literally shown from their own mouth that they want to get into Secretary of States. They want to win. They want to win Secretary of State positions. They want to win city and board positions. Like, I mean, that's not a secret, folks. Steve Bannon said that this is the plan. This is the way. Oh, sorry, Kevin. Here we go. Uh, well, there's tons of right-wing people who got the message, and thousands of extreme left who call every moderate people. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't agree with that. That's kind of weird. I mean, like, so we're just gonna call people we don't like that? I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. That's kind of cringe. If you see something, obviously say something, but like just calling people, even if you don't like them, even if you think they're like these fence sitting like centrists who are, messing things up or whatnot, even if you don't like them, even if uh you don't agree with them politically, unless you have like some unbelievable credible evidence that this is the case, then maybe just don't say anything. They've openly said that they'll decertify elections if they don't go the way they want. Yeah, yeah. I forgot what this person's name was. In, I want to say Arizona, who's running for Secretary of State. I'm pretty sure it's Arizona. Uh, who is one of these people who are pushing the whole like election nonsense. It's a growing movement and it's getting worse and worse. Well, I completely disagree with that. I completely disagree with that. You don't have to agree with that. Why? I mean, that's not going to change my values. I'm just not going to agree with that with those people. Easy peasy. I tried to explain to my dad that he was a centrist and he was livid. That's funny. I mean, just to be clear, holding the type of politics that I have is basically the legitimate um milk toast positions, right? I mean, what more milk toast is it than to want people to have the basic like standard of living of having like healthcare, food, housing, education, a thriving living wage that people don't struggle, that people can have like their cost of living working a normal job, no matter what job it is. It should always be like a living wage. I mean, I don't. That's not. That's not really radical. The idea. The idea that workers should have. The idea that workers should reap the fruits of their labor. It's not really like a massively like radical idea. He told me that we have the same views and he's on the left. I explained to him that no one on the left would ever consider Bloomberg. Yeah, well, Bloomberg isn't like on the quote left. If market dictates that you aren't productive enough to survive, just shut up and starve. True. True. Spoken like a true capitalist. Imagine being so entitled as you think you deserve to live. Silly. Silly, silly, silly. What a concept. Right-wingers are so pro... Yeah. I've made... I've pointed that out several times, and like you can kind of see the self-report. You can see the self-report when they constantly make these anti-abortion bills, and like none of them have like the bare minimum of exceptions to those things. You have to fight for those amendments. Imagine being so entitled that you think you deserve to live. True. Imagine. Dude, I made a I know this is gonna sound cringe, but I made a TikTok video about the most ludicrous bill. I forget which state was it who made the most ludicrous bill. Uh, that said it was a copycat Texas. It was a copycat Texas bill that said the actual family of the rapist could technically sue for 20K, could sue the provider or doctor for 20K. Not the actual like rapist themselves, they can't sue, but the family can. And I was told that I was going too far by saying that that's pro, that I was attempting to make the argument that this is why like these folks are pro rape, because they're giving a financial incentive to do that. They're literally giving the family a literal financial incentive, 20K a pop, to sue the victim. I mean, that's right. My first argument is this simple. Well, I mean, they're not for big law and order. But that's the thing, they're not. They're not for law and order. That whole argument falls apart because they're not even for that. They're only in favor of laws that they want. They're only in favor of laws that they like. They're not really in favor of any type of like clearly demonstrated. They don't care about like norms or laws or anything like that. Abortions also reduce poverty, so like as a domino effect or as a downstream effect, they would reduce in effect crime. But they don't they don't really care about that. I think somebody has been sued this week for this. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already happening. The reality is at the core of the argument, it's about control. That's it. That's it. It's not like some 200D chess move. It's just all about control. Texas arrested and charged a woman. Yeah, that's right. They attempted to. We went over that. They attempted to. That's the end game. That's what they want. They say they're for free speech, but burn. Yeah. They say that they're in favor of a lot of things, but then end up doing the exact opposite, and it keeps being a trend. It's a continuing trend, right? They say they're like pro freedom or whatever BS, but they're like locking up women and charging them with murder. Thank goodness the charges didn't hold, because obviously it's a ludicrous situation. But the fact that they tried, she has not been released. Yikes. The last update that I saw from the story, because we went over it, because that one was a massive red alarm bells right there. So that rang a lot of alarm bells. The charges didn't stick. They had to drop the charges. Because obviously, it's just not gonna make sense. Even Even in Texas, those charges like didn't really hold. You heard anything about the UK government refugee Rwanda plans? Nope. No, sorry. My knowledge of the international world is what? So they just told everybody to get heft? Yikes. Jesus, Mono. So they just told everybody to get effed. The charges were false, but she was still being held for murder anyways. Last time I checked, they refused to release her. Yikes. You know what? Let's get an update on that. Texas woman, not university charge. Murder, I guess. Okay, this was 5 days ago. DA moves to dismiss murder charges, but we need to know if she's been released, though. All these articles are like 5 days ago, 6 days ago. Yeah, I don't see any updates other than that. If they're still holding her, that's freaking criminal, dude. But her case is an example of lengths to which red states are willing to go to restrict abortion access. Instead of claiming asylum when they arrive to Britain, those fleeing persecution or war will have to find a legal and safe route to the UK, or most face being packed off to Africa, which there are currently very few routes not available to citizens of the country that make up the bulk of those granted refugee status in Britain. It's somewhat disingenuous of the government to say it's safer legal route because they know that the asylum seekers don't have that option. Yikes. So everybody get effed. Holy yikes. Jesus. Texas has recently enacted one of the strictest anti-abortion laws in the country, the so-called Heartbeat Act. Allows private individuals, right, we know this. It should have happened, and there are clear ways that it could have been prevented. If healthcare providers that she reached out kept her information confidential, if law enforcement who pursued this rightly realized that there was no criminal wrongdoing here. Yeah, the thing is, like, how chilling is it that the fact that you can't show up for healthcare because those clinics will be compelled to give you up, essentially. That's what happened. I'm pretty sure we went over this story to the T. And the healthcare center was the one that provided that information to the authorities. So now if you get here, you're shipped off and to Rwanda to await legal ways, and which isn't even that because they're setting you up to stay. Yeah, so basically, get effed, everybody. That's what they're saying. Dude, that's wild, Mono. May I ask if the weather where you will be moving were better or worse in Florida? Better. Yeah, actually, you're right, Mono. Oh my god. You're right. But in policy. It's not like a meme, it's like in policy. That's disturbing. That's disturbing. Playing for target audiences, yeah. Yep. That's how it be. That's horrifying. I mean, we've had horrifying stories here too. I mean, that's a dime a dozen. For those of you who don't know, there is a um indigenous creator. Her name is Universal Discourse. Great person, great person, and she was going over a story where there was like indigenous folks who were getting roped by border patrol and finding themselves in Mexico, a country they have never been to. They're literal US like citizens, but got roped up and sent to Mexico. So yeah, cringe stories like this are unfortunately the norm. Like, imagine like telling these folks, lying, like essentially lying to them. Don't worry, we got you. And then like they end up being shipped to Rwanda. Sheesh. Should call it the Remain in Rwanda policy. Like, don't worry. You can go through the process, but you got to stay over there. And then like once they get over there, it's like, sorry, you guys are actually gonna stay there. The thing is, what it won't do is what the governments are saying: reduce human trafficking. Yeah, I mean, how would you solve that? Because that's a separate issue, right? That's a separate issue. If anything, it's going to create more. Yikes. It's like saying that the almighty wall is going to keep out drugs or something. Or at the very least, even out some people thinking now it's too hard. Some people thinking again, trying again second times. Sheesh. I mean, ugh. That's just gross. That's just gross. Like the thing that like the thing that messes me is that they're literally telling these folks something and then like they're lying to them. They're not getting help. That's so sad. Instead of claiming asylum when they arrive in Britain, those fleeing persecution or war will have to find a legal and safe route to the UK or be packed off to Africa. There are currently very few such routes, and none available to citizens of countries that make up the bulk of those granted refugee status in Britain. What is an asylum seeker from Iraq or Iran say supposed to do? They're being faced with a catch-22. They can only claim asylum to Britain or on British soil, but in reaching the UK, they make themselves inadmissible for asylum. For the Home Secretary and the Prime Minister, that appears to be a long-term aim to stop all asylum seekers from coming to Britain. Instead, we promise a network of safe routes. Instead, we are promised a network of safe routes from UN-run refugee camps. As things stands, the UK is a passive recipient of those asking for sanctuary. The government has no control over who the asylum seekers are. The new plan would mean politicians could pick and choose. We're striking the fact that around 7 out of 10 of those arriving in small boats last year were men under 40, paying people smugglers to queue jump and taking up our capacity to help genuine women and child refugees. Jesus. We can't ask the British taxpayer to write a blank check to cover the cost of anyone who might want to come and live here. The problem with this argument is that a substantial majority of those who cross the channel are subsequently granted refugee status by the UK government. Home Office officials decide they do indeed have a well-founded fear of persecution in their country of origin. It was noticeably how upbeat the Home Secretary was as she jetted off to Kigali to sign on the dotted line. I'd say I'm not even sure this is legal, but I don't think trivialities like that matter anymore. Listen, truer words have never been spoken. Is being misrepresented. For a start, it only takes 500 people a year, and how any of our laws will stop it from happening. This is a dead cat to hide the Prime Minister's law breaking and get votes at the midterms. This is definitely an attempt to shift the eyes off the COVID Partygate thing. Oh my god. The COVID Partygate thing? Listen, even we heard about that, okay? Even we heard about that. Even we heard about that. I'm not too familiar with English law. Priti Patel is an actual ghoul. Who is that? Oh. She's a Prime Minister? No, not Prime Minister. She's a MP, right? I sense his Home Secretary. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is a political thing. She's a Home Secretary, a Thatcherite? Yikes. Cringe. Giga cringe. Omega cringe. It's covering up for the Prime Minister so the Prime Minister doesn't have to resign. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, hey, that could be part of it. Have you talked about the police murder in Grand Rapids? What? Another one? She wanted that anti-protest bill beefed up stronger than it was going to be. Yikes. Cringe. Which basically outlawed protests if they were even vaguely annoying. Sheesh. Plus had serious bullying accusations levied at her. I mean, she sounds like a bully. In February 2020, she came under scrutiny for trying to force out Sir Philip Rutman, the most senior civil servant in her department. Rutman resigned on February 29th. What? On the 29th of February? Wait a minute. Was that a leap year? Saying that he would sue the government for constructive dismissal. In November, a Cabinet Office inquiry found that evidence that Patel had breached ministerial code following allegations of bullying in 3 government departments in which he had served. Yikes. Apology as a result of libel claim in November 21. That's the following year. Patel apologized to a Muslim man who had been falsely accused in a government press release of being an extremist hate preacher. As a result of his actions for libel, the government agreed to delete his name from the press release and pay him a compensation for his legal cost. Sheesh. She was sacked for going to Israel for secret talks. Sheesh. Hey Thandera, can you send that to me? They just released a video of? Oh man. Yikes. Yikes. Can you send me like a story that we can kind of read off? She's been found guilty of bullying staff while in office. Yeah, I was just reading that. Absolute goal. Right, just the act of bringing her into the cabinet, kind of a sum up of what they think is okay. Well, I'm not gonna disagree with you on that one. Right, and rightfully so, but you know. There seems to be like a parallel that's kind of mimicked here, right? Have you not heard about the Loyolas? Are we confusing two different situations? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. And how about this? Do you have a link for that story? She's so unpopular that it makes a great smokescreen for government wrongdoing. She's one of those polarizing figures who lots of people detest her, so then naturally Boris Johnson makes her part of the cabinet. Yeah. And keep her for the drama that she creates. Maybe. I mean, some fellas calling protesters jobless scruffs, which makes me chuckle because I am a jobless scruff and I'm currently not, and I'm not protesting. I'm a job full scruff. How about that? I'm a job full scruff and have been to several protests in 2020, 2021. I don't know, those years kind of blend for me. Those years kind of blend for me. And then I think I want to say 2019. I want to say the year before. There was also a climate protest. Those Friday for Futures. Future for Fridays? Fridays for Futures. Yeah. The government has been in power in 12 years and the country's so much worse and corrupt in that time. Conservatism, folks. Not even once. I think that goose is cooked, to be fair. $2020. Yep. Zooming out, it's even worse than that. Sheesh. Boris kept going on about fixing these issues of the last 3 decades, which he fails to notice that for 2/3 of that time, the Conservatives have been in government. They were also in government for a decade before the 3 decades he appears to have arbitrarily cut off. Jesus. Oh, yeah. There's receipts, too. Yeah, the comments are here. The comments here are pretty, whew. Yikes. A man who witnessed a struggle between Patrick Lyoya and the Grand Rapids police officer who fatally shot him knew the incident wouldn't end well. When the tussle began, if you tussle with a white man with a gun, you're black, you end up dead. And you end up black and American dead, you end up dead. That's my thing. I want to know that to be a fact. Loyola was fatally shot on April 4th after he and the officer, who had not been identified, had a physical encounter. Loyola's family called for the officer to be prosecuted. The officer on paid leave. He understands that why Loyola got out of his vehicle and didn't get back in when the officer didn't told him to return to the vehicle. I don't condone it, but I understand how someone can feel scared and not understand and be confused. And his mistake he paid with his life. Authorities said that the officer pulled the car driven by Loyola for improper registration. Video released to the public shows Loyola, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Lyoya, get out of the car and have a brief discussion with the officer. Lyoya opens the driver's side, speaks to an unidentified passenger, then shuts his door, turns his back, and the officer appears to walk to the front of the car. Then the encounter turned physical. The officer apparently deployed his taser twice during the struggle, at which points during the incident, Loyola, once a taser deploys twice, that's it. Seriously, Sage, I just finished episode 2, and that hit me really hard. Yeah. Yeah, it should. It should. There's so many articles on it, I couldn't decide, but I sent one. That's fine. Hey, ADT, I'm watching the series of Our Planet on Netflix, and holy shit, do we have to do something about climate change like yesterday? Preferably about 10 years ago, but yeah. All the stuff that we've been talking about, if you've been here, a bond, because I know I've seen your username here several times. It's the same old story that we've been talking about for the length of this channel. It's the same story, the same drums the same song that we continue to play. They blame the Dems for programs that they Republicans do the same thing, blaming Dems for programs and such that they put in place themselves, right? It's like that meme with the bicycle. There's so many articles. Okay, no worries. I'm afraid that the U.S. will take a big L with the Republicans taking over. Yeah, I fully expect that the Republicans completely win the midterm House and quite possibly the Senate. As it all happened so fast, he was so scared, but he had time to turn off his body cam. And oh my god, he turned off his body. Wait, I'm still reading the story. Hold on. The climate change will go on the back burner. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Astro. The Biden administration has done just about fuck all. Okay, like I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The Biden administration has done almost next to nothing, and even though he continues to speak about how important it is, the real policies that are actually put in place, they're lacking. We have important issues in the world right now, and we must defend Ukraine. Right, like the whole Ukraine thing, the war in Ukraine, it has kind of taken over the spotlight. You know, not that it isn't serious, because it is, but it has given enough. I don't want to say plausible deniability, but enough chance for the Biden administration to kind of like ignore climate like issues, which are hand in hand. This would be the perfect opportunity to be like, hey, we need to decouple ourselves from fossil fuels. Look what's happening, so on and so forth. But that conversation isn't even happening. Besides, like, we opened up a lot of permits to continue. I mean, the EPA is the Supreme Court is on the cusp if they decide. The EPA is about to lose regulatory powers if the Supreme Court decides that, that's a done deal. So, yeah. Also, if they take over on the midterms, they'll end all January 6th investigations. Oh, yeah, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that goes away, but it's not. It's always going to be on them. Right. Anytime you try to bring it up to politicians, we have very important issues going on. Yeah, it's always the same blah 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 blah. The US must learn to walk and chew at the same time. Now that's I feel like this war has just given oil companies a boost to continue business as usual. Yep. They're using this as a cudgel. Wait, as a wedge. I don't know. As a wedge. Also, I find out that, yeah, so to your point, Astro, the Democratic Party isn't really doing much anyways, to be quite frank. Alright, let's check this out. Close this. Okay, so yeah, we were here. So those of you that should know, a taser can only fire twice. It looks like they each had a hand on the taser for about 90 seconds. They were struggling over the taser, but already it's done. This officer failed to follow basic training. When the officer engages Patrick, he goes and puts his hands on him. And when Patrick goes to walk away, he could have just stepped back and called for backup. When you look at him escalating the situation, the officer was the one being violent. This was a person who could have called for backup. It was a traffic stop. He had the car there. He had a passenger in the car. Patrick was in flip-flops. Yikes. The follow-up question I'm sure will be, was the use of force in policy? And I'm not going to comment on that. Wait, how do you know? Wait. Do you or do you not know your own department's policy? Wait. But the test is whether they're going to be in the view of a reasonable police officer. Yeah, but that's garbage. That's garbage logic. Whether that deadly force was needed to prevent death or great bodily harm to that officer. Okay, so the incident began at 8 a.m. when an officer pulled over for improper registration. Which begins at the officer walking towards the car. Loyalist confirms he speaks English and says his license in the car. He opens the driver's side, speaks to an unidentified passenger, shuts the door, turns his back to the officer, and appears to walk to the front of the car. Stop, the officer. No, stop. The officer is saying. He puts his hand on Leolia's shoulder and back. Leolia is seen as resisting the officer's touch and quickly backs away from the officer, running away from him before the officer tackles him to the ground and says, "Stop resisting." Yeah, I don't... okay. At this point... Oh, boy. Let go of the taser, the officer said, saying on his baddie... Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but, like, my instinct is to always, you know... be skeptical. The assumption is that the dude with the taser will tase the cop and then immediately get the gun, which is weird. Most people don't immediately want to kill somebody. Please say no more than 5 seconds. Your muscles are no more when you hit the ground. I don't know why you would need more. Yeah, but these are two, it's a 2-shot system, right? You only get 2. If the taser is so dangerous that it requires shooting a guy in the back of the head to deal with it, why is it okay to the cops to use it? Right. So then, is it or is it not a lethal weapon? Because the whole point of you drawing your weapon is already like the, you know, is the end, right? That's it. You have no other choice. This is all over a license plate because he didn't, and English wasn't his first language. Okay, so here's where things start getting, At this point, the officer's body-worn camera was deactivated. Said it takes pushing a button for 3 seconds to turn off the body cam. He thought the pressure from Leola's body caused the deactivation. Another angle from the incident taken from the neighborhood home surveillance captures the rest of the altercation. The officer is heard shooting Leolia. The cell phone audio also, the cell phone video also shows the fatal shot. Oh my god. Winston said, yeah, so he roadblocks them in the back of the head. The officer involved shooting will not be identified publicly unless there are criminal charges. The officer had been in the department for years, is on paid leave, and his police power suspended. Sheesh. I've got to see this whole thing. I've got to see the whole video. The whole, like, angles from beginning to end of this incident. But, this doesn't look good. Right, so how did that happen? If it's the story was from the back, right? If he got shot in the back of the head, explain to me how that one happened. This summer is going to be nuts. Oof. They were on the floor fits the video that I'm thinking of. Yeah, this was apparently recent. They won't also release the name of the officer. Yeah, I mean, honestly, how... I think just like in any shooting, justified or not, there should be a massive, like, investigation from top to bottom and it should be as transparent as possible. The cop was on top of him, but losing his position, so he just took the shot. Wait, that's not an excuse. That's not your, quote, life being in danger. That's not an excuse. And if you can't apprehend suspects like that, or you didn't have the mental, like the state of mind to then be, get out of there and call for backup, then Jesus Christ, dude, what are you doing being an officer? When I first saw it, I was confused as to what happened because the dude was literally facing the ground, pushing up with both hands. Even if he had a taser in one of them, he couldn't have easily used it from that position. Jesus Christ. So he was face down already. Having said that, though, there's been a bunch of F incidents recently, so I don't know whether it's the same one. Well, the fact that we have to ask is not exactly a good thing. That's heft. If you have a guy on the ground, I mean, where is the disconnect here? You cuff him, right? I mean, like, you already deployed your taser. He's face down. I mean, if you can't apprehend suspects, or you don't have the training capacity to realize that, hey, look, this guy's trying to run away from the beginning of his approach, and not call for backup, then, like, I don't know, dude. Jesus Christ. What an F situation. What an F situation. And paid leave, too. Must be nice. No, I was saying that, once you have the suspect face down, like, just apprehend them, cuff them, and that's it. Your job isn't to, like, do anything else. There was a point at the very beginning of the encounter where the cop could have just been patient enough to communicate like a normal person and not yell and immediately use force. I mean, listen, we've seen videos of their so-called training, of their I forgot what it's called. But they go to a specific place. I want to say Nevada or Utah, and it was on PBS. Holy yikes! We saw it together, didn't we, Tendera? Where they were like, oh yeah, the only thing that matters is whether or not, like, we come home alive. And, like, okay, but dude, we literally saw in the last incident of that video, of the lady officer literally saying, put your hands up, stop, and then, like, shoots. Extreme content warning. Okay, I can't watch this on stream. But this video is for your discussion advice. Okay, so this is the body cam. Right there. Why didn't you grab his hands? Why did you grab the gun? Oh my god. Oh, that almost seems not real. He's pushing up. Why didn't you grab his hands? No, yeah, it's very, 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 very graphic. I'm pretty sure that if this wasn't like a news channel, so they kind of made sure that there's nothing that would violate anything else, but this is a verified like news channel, it seems. So they showed it. It is yeah. So I might not have thought, okay, boss, I'll drop it because I don't know I'm about to get shot. Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't matter. The whole point is, like, you're supposed to be in control. You're the officer, right? You're the one that's supposed to understand and be aware of the situation. Because you're the professional, right? And if you know that you've already deployed your taser, you know that that can't be deployed again, right? Because it's supposed to be 2 cartridges per per I don't want to say magazine, but per load. He literally jump off the guy and back off so dude can see you're pointing the gun at him. Right. You're supposed to be the one in control, and you're on top of him while the dude is face down. So I mean, like, just out of a self-defense perspective, the first thing that you should do in a situation like that, if you are if you have any doubt in your mind, you back off, okay? You back off. Because the first thing that you should be thinking about, again, this is from a self-preservation, like a self-defense standard. I'm reading chat. From a self-defense perspective, if you are in that situation and you are unsure that you do not have a grasp, then you back off immediately, okay? If you have deadly force, okay? If you have deadly force and you are unsure of your position, you need to back off, okay? Because the whole point of having a gun is to have, like, the distance, right? To create distance. Okay? Like, even from a self-defense perspective, that just doesn't flow. Like, this would never fly. In a civilian case, this would never fly. You would be in jail for murder. This is just unbelievable. Even from a self-defense perspective, like you should never find yourself in that position. If you are that person, you're getting yourself into a scuffle, and I don't know, you find yourself in a bar fight or whatever, and you're the one that's, having the capabilities of lethal force, and you're already on top of a guy, but you're unsure, and you're like struggling. Back off immediately. Back off immediately. Yeah, first question. I thought they were meant to send at least 2 cops to every incident. Usually, like normal cops have partners. So that's a good question. Like literally jump off the guy and back off so the dude can see you're pointing a gun. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of having deadly force. You said it right. It's the United States of Dicks. True. Oh God, guys, if you look at that video, I'm telling you, it is deeply disturbing, and it can make you. It made me a little bit queasy. I'm not gonna lie. Um, like I feel like there's again. I know we're all watching this after the fact, but these are supposed to be the cops. They're supposed to be the professionals. Like, there's no room for this. I talked to someone in another country about police shootings once, and they said if a cop were to kill somebody in their country, they would be in prison. Yeah, like immediately. Yeah, here it's like a whole big thing. And, I think that they have way too much leniency, right? I mean, suspended pay while they can figure out what the heck happened. I mean, sorry, not suspended pay. They get paid leave while they figure out what's happening. And then even so, it's like unbelievably rare that they get charged. It's always a justified thing, most of them. It's like, well, I don't know, dude. I don't know. This one doesn't seem right. This one doesn't seem right at all. From what based on on the video evidence I've seen so far, um, this one doesn't look, this one doesn't look good. This one doesn't look right. Buenos dias. Howdy, howdy. I mean, like, to be on top of somebody already, and your reaction is to not grab their hands to cuff them, or if you can't control the suspect, and you really fear for your life, you really fear that they're gonna take something and use it against you, because he wasn't reaching for his gun. I saw the video. The guy, the victim wasn't reaching for the gun. The gun was on this side. Bro, if you really fear that he's gonna take something from you, or like he's grabbing the other side of your belt with pepper spray or something like that, bro, get off him and create distance to be able to protect yourself. They gotta teach some BJJ. Yeah, I mean, but no, that takes years to master. That takes years to master. That's not. Um, yeah, someone who's done martial arts for a very, very, very long time. I mean, it's not bad. They should have some type of training. I was kidding. Okay, okay. I was about to say, listen, I've done martial arts for a very, very long time, and I can't even do the fancy stuff. Okay, I can't even do the fancy stuff. The stuff that comes out always in a fight or flight situation are the basics. I couldn't watch the moment it happened, so I don't know. Yeah, um, the link that Mono dropped is not good. It doesn't look good. That's why you're meant to have teams of 2 minimum. Right, right. That I mean, technically, those cops usually are with partners. The only cops that to my knowledge, and I could be wrong because I guess every department has a different policy. But the only cops who go solo are usually the troopers. The state the state police, are usually the ones that are single. Not like partners. They don't go out in twos. The troopers are the ones that go out single. But I don't think. Yeah, that's kind of strange. He could feasibly argue that he feared for his life because he was one guy and the dude had his taser, but you know that the taser was done, right? Like that's it. Once you fire your 2 cartridges, like you're done. Rayups, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Um, but once you fire your 2 cartridges, you as a police officer, you're supposed to know everything about your gear, right? If not, why are you carrying it? How do you know? Like, bro, if you don't know, um, then you're supposed to be in control. You're the officer. Wow, truly. Enlightening us with some good comments right off the bat. Wow, truly. And folks, we have truly an intellectual giant in chat. Truly an intellectual giant. Yeah, he's gonna say he didn't know, I guess. But then why are you carrying a taser? If you can't have control of the situation, then you shouldn't be an officer. Cops aren't taught to back off or retreat, right? Which is, if that's the case, if that's not like part of the policy, then that's a failure. Then that's a gross failure that needs to be addressed because like even for officer safety, even for like when it comes to like officer safety, which allegedly is what they care about, the first thing that you need to do, um, is if you can't get a hold of the situation, um, then you need to back off. Then you need to back off from a self-defense perspective. I got hit with a car 2 days ago, left the hospital yesterday. Oh my goodness, my friend. Jeez. Yikes, I'm sorry to hear that, friend. I'm an esoteric neoliberal. Nice. I'm whatever I feel like being. That's just me. Anyways, this video looks not good. Looks very, very, very damning. Very dark. Please, if you Do decide to go look it up. Huge. Oh, it's just like when you watch something so like graphic, and it gives you that weird feeling in your gut, like a queasy, not not queasy, but like it gives you that unease. And I've seen a lot of stuff that's happened in war, like in Ukraine and stuff like that. And each and every one of those videos are like, man, they just give you that queasy, like gut wrenching feeling. This was one of those. This was one of those. Truly, I mean, again, I'm looking I'm looking at it from a 20 hindsight perspective. Um, but to me, it could have. There's just so many things that could have happened without the end game of going to use your gun in that manner. I saw the video and the cop just freaked out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can't handle the situation, if you're not in control of the situation, back off. Back off and call for backup. Okay? If you're not in control of the situation and you feel like, oh man, that's it, this is freaking me out, man, and you can't handle it, back off. And people like that guy should never be police officers. It is disgusting. That dude gets paid leave. Yeah, that literally, like, I almost couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, like, this is just kind of like my general reaction when I see things like this. It's like, it almost looks fake. It almost looks fake. It almost looks fake. Yeah, that's just, yikes. Well, that's a story for Saturday, huh? What a topic. Hold on, folks. So, man, I wish I would have seen my text. The co-host won't be joining us today, as you can probably know. But I think we might have to do a special feature tomorrow. just to kind of give another, farewell. Not very pleasant, so local in the big picture of other state of the world, but it could explode. I mean, like, it is an important topic, like, to kind of um, hammer down the where we want things to be, right? I mean, do we want, like, you know, do we want to be under a do we want to be in a position where it's okay, or the repercussions? Okay, let me rephrase that. Do we want a world where authority, the ability to hold authority accountable, is limited? Because this can be expanded. This may be one incident, but one incident of many, um, and one incident of many. That's a pattern, and a pattern is an issue that needs to be then discussed within the system. Um, do we want to live in a world where we can't hold authority accountable, where we have no guardrails or capabilities of, of saying, hey, this is just not going to fly anymore. That's it. That's it. Police are just not going to be allowed to do this anymore. Do you think floods and landslides in South Africa are more important? I mean, this is something that affects us here in the now. Of course that's important. That's on another broad that's on another broad spectrum, right? We're talking about two different things, and well, we can chew, I think you said this earlier, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can walk and chew gum. This is a question of, like, democratic, like, norms, right? This is a question of democratic norms, which is, I think, important. Our ability to hold police accountable is already restricted due to qualified immunity. I agree. We can walk and chew gum. We can talk about how these things are, problems on the broad sense, and we can also talk about, climate change and all that, the things that affect us on a global scale. So yeah, we can walk and chew gum at the same time, because this is a broader topic, right? This is a broader topic. Should we have a society where authority is unchecked, where authority doesn't have guardrails, right? Where we have cops with no accountability? Well, that's not it's not democracy, is it? The world is full of injustice, wrongdoings, and bad things. We have difficulty to get the rights. We have difficulty getting the right perspectives, maybe. But I do agree that there's a lot of injustice, a lot of wrongdoings, and bad things. And I think we should strive to do what we can within the time that we have, within the tools that we have, to make things better, right? To make things better. So yeah, that's why it's important and worth discussing these incidents, right? I don't believe in qualified immunity. I believe cops are not any special. I don't think they should be treated as such. And I think based on what I saw on that video, if that would have been a regular citizen, the self-defense would not have fly in that case. If that was a regular citizen, two altercations, like an altercation between two adults, and that actually happened, between two civilians, that dude's going to jail. That dude's going to jail for murder. For example, China started near military exercise near Taiwan. Yeah, they've done that for a while now because USA is sending lawmakers. Yeah, it's just a traditional saber rattling nonsense, right? I mean, they always do this every opportunity they get. We do that too. How many military exercises have we done in the South China Sea? I think is it? Is it not? How many military exercises does the United States conduct? You know, that's right, and in Europe. So I mean, this is not anything out of the unusual, right? I think that if the United States exercises its right to freedom of travel, wait, what is it called? Freedom of navigation exercises, then so can any other country. And if we don't like it, maybe we should, um, consider why that is. But at the reality, like China can talk about, China can saber rattle, the U.S. can saber rattle all at once, but at the end of the day, none of these countries, ideally, would go to war. China has much to lose. China, go to war with the United States. That's why they're being so like disconnected from the whole issue of like Russia and Ukraine, even though like they're buddies. They're allies. To Russia, they're trying to stay out of it as much as possible, because well, they've got a lot to lose. So I don't see us getting into a conflict. Makes me think that being a cop gives you the right to be less than human and have a license to kill. I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know if it. I think it's the opposite, right? You think you're above. You think you're above, and a lot of these folks have like a god complex. Like the whole authority thing gets to them. China may feed weapons to Russia, maybe, and the U.S. feeds feeds weapons to elsewhere in the world, right? Yemen, the Middle East, Ukraine, Europe. Yeah, so it's all the same. It's all the same game, folks. It's the same game. The difference is, we've both got lots to lose from getting ourselves into a conventional conflict. So I don't think that's on the cards. I don't think it's gonna come to that, at all. I don't think China's gonna get itself. It wants to get itself in another like direct conflict with the U.S. That's just not in their interest. It's not in our interest. We have so much economic like ties that it's almost guaranteed that under normal circumstances, like we wouldn't really go after each other. Another proxy war, that's more likely. That is more likely than an outright like conflict between China and the US. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Either way, international politics is way above my it's way above my pay grade, so I could end up eating all these words. I don't know. It's just what I see. Like to think that there's going to be a mass conflict. Um I think it is more likely that we create the paths for mass conflict by not addressing by not addressing things like climate change will increase the path to conflict much more likely than it is like some government saber rattling at each other. Well, folks, it is about 2:30. So I'm gonna go get a cat because it is Saturday Caturday, and I do guarantee a kitty cat on stream. Guaranteed. Hey, Heat, how's it going? For a moment, I was like, what the? Yeah, listen, I didn't forget, okay? Send in the cats. Yeah, I did not forget, okay? Hey, Heat, how's it going? I made sure that if I turn on stream for Saturday Caturday, there is going to be a kitty cat on stream, whether it be one or several. In this case, it's going to be Vaquita the cat. Hi, cat, please. All right. Cat's coming, okay? I'm going to go get the cat, and that way I fulfill my promise, because there's always supposed to be a kitty cat on stream. Every Saturday Caturday. Guaranteed. That's the ADT guarantee. Alright? Hey, Yellow King, how's it going? BRB? Alright, same. Hang tight, folks. So he does wear bottom. I mean, yeah, I have basketball shorts. I think that's the best guarantee in life. True. Yeah, I do, because, well, every single outfit that I wear, almost 90% of the times is basketball shorts and a t-shirt. That's like literally 99% of my outfits. All right, Kitty. It's time to say hello and goodbye to everybody. Come on. Look at this perfect cat. He's like, let me go. Why are you... Yes. Look at this perfect kitty. Perfect, exactly. Alright. I'm home, it feels nice. Nice. Alright, folks. Don't forget to hit the follow button. You get 5 free emotes, including Vaquita the cat. Look at that. Oh, look at this kitty. Look at her. What? That's the microphone. You want to say something? Okay. See you next time tomorrow? Maybe. I think that there might be a small Vaquita, we love you. Oh. Show some love by hitting the follow button and then spamming her. Or type Vaquita the cat. Or type Vaquita. Just like that. It's a free emote on BTTV. Okay. Show some love by spamming her little emote. Oh, no, cat. There we go. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Tomorrow's Easter Sunday. Oh, I mean, didn't really stop us. The co-host wasn't able to join us today. But we might do like a short stream tomorrow. Just to kind of kick off, the final countdown. Now that there's plenty of you guys, there's enough of you folks here. It is to my, and I'll make another announcement on Monday as well. We're getting out of here, folks. We're getting out of Florida. So if you haven't noticed, we've been kind of intermediate between the studio and here. We're getting out of here. All right. I'm leaving this place. Does Vaquita translate? Yeah. Vaquita is Spanish diminutive for little cow. Like this. And her little face will come up. Take me with you? Yeah, I have a basement, alright? Congrats, dude. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. We're getting the heck out of here, okay? It wasn't easy. For obvious reasons, we named her Vaquita, which is like little cow. Because she has such a like perfect pattern of white and black. We just couldn't help it. Get away from DeSantis. Oh no, I'm voting for him before I leave. No, I'm kidding. The elections aren't even going on. Yeah, if I was like leaving later, if I was leaving later, then I would gladly cast my vote against him. Gladly, as a final FU. Gladly. But I don't need to be in Florida to still make sure, people realize just how like, because he is eyeing a national run, so we'll still be talking about Mr. DeSantis. Make sure you take a piss. Yeah, I'll make sure I do that. Like right on the border, I'll make sure. Or like as we're passing Tallahassee, right? That's the, yeah. I'll see you in North Dakota. What? No. Not going to North Dakota. It's going to be really scary if this guy gets more power. Yeah, we already saw what he's capable. We already saw that this guy likes nothing more than central control. Were you here when I went over the article that he's basically managed to get the state legislator to bend the knee and allow him to draw the district maps because they're not going to put forth any maps that he's not going to approve. So literally giving him the full power to just casually decide unilaterally the district maps. That's nice. That's very democratic. So yeah, no, I don't want this guy anywhere near power, to be quite frank. I hope he loses. But, the Democratic presence here is, oof. Trump is worse? No. No. This guy is, like, has the ideas, but without so much of the bombastic, like, baggage on the front side, okay? On the front side, he doesn't have that much baggage because he hasn't had that much time in the political sphere, but I think he's more dangerous. I don't want this guy anywhere near power. Sadly, yes, DeSantis is more dangerous. Absolutely. Like he's got like the politics of or policy prescriptions or like, basically the policy types that Trump would do, but with a tiny bit more understanding of the levers of what levers need to be pressed, and without like the without like the baggage, because Trump's bombastic like baggage, he doesn't have the same like PR problems that Trump does. So like, yeah, he's definitely more dangerous, I think. He got the entire state legislature to bend the knee to allow him to do the maps. The maps that, yes, will be in play for the midterms. I mean, geez. Talk about being politically effective, or bad, of course. But yeah, he literally got the entire state legislature to bend the knee so that he gets the maps that he wants for districts that will inevitably be, of course, the part of the determining factors in the midterms. Yeah, this guy's absolutely dangerous, 100%. Not only that, we saw what he did with the election laws, giving more control to the state for election laws, and he also signed into law the whole abortion thing. I mean, yeah, clearly this guy's should be nowhere near in power at all. F that guy. Easily. Easily. Alright, folks, unfortunately, that is all the time I have today, because I do gotta get going. Folks, don't forget, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit the follow button. Don't forget, if you're on the YouTubes, to hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out. Okay? Really does help us out. Spread the word far and wide that this is the chillest place to be for news and politics. We'll be back Monday, or actually, we might be back tomorrow for a shorter stream, just to get the co-host in, and just to say basically the final weekend, I guess, in this place. Man, it feels so weird to say that, but yeah, the final weekend, and yeah. Don't forget to join the Discords to keep up with the channel. If there is, I'll make an announcement later today. I'll make an announcement. So yeah, make sure you hit the follow button, do all that awesome stuff. Spread the word far and wide that this is the chillest place to be. Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Saturday Caturdays around noon Eastern Time. Next week, there will not be a Saturday Caturday, for reasons that I just discussed. Because I'm going to be working. So, yeah, next Saturday, no Saturday Caturday next Saturday. But, the following one, there will be, I think. So stay tuned, folks. Join the Discord for any announcements later today. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya. You take care. Thank you so much. Thank you, Heat. I appreciate that. Alright, let's go to... Dan Simpson's pretty chill. Just kind of continue the vibe. Alright, folks. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya!